What is up, hooligans? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate you guys all being here. I think it's Friday. Happy Freedom Friday, you hooligans. Sorry the waiting screen was so long. I received an important phone call right when I kicked off the live because that's how today is going. Today has been rough. It has been very rough. Let me make sure everything is running on my end before we read through the chats, the schedule, and everything else, because that phone call caught me off guard. Just one moment, please. And then I will inform all of you of all the updates going on, because, you know, there's been a lot of stuff happening the last couple of days. To me personally, just want to get this stuff straightened out. Okay, I think we are good. Let me pull up this YouTube chat. There we are, all live. Extra beautiful. Salted Ragu, no, it wasn't Corinne on the phone. It was not. It was not. I think she's doing good. Every time I see, any kind of pictures or posts from Corinne, she's working with some independent news crew. I think they're putting together their own news network, which is pretty cool. She seems happy about it. I haven't caught her live at all since the last time we covered her live, but she seems like she's doing good. And she's got some people that take her seriously, which is good, because although she is very entertaining, she's absolutely dedicated to what she does. So I'm happy that she's happy, although I don't know her very well. Anyways, I got a call back about the Subaru. My Subaru is dead. They're saying it will be thousands of dollars to fix. They said it would be more than $5,000 just to put the frame back together, because they said the whole front clip needs to be replaced. Basically, from the front tires forward has to be replaced. Engine mounts and everything have to be replaced. And they're telling me that it is absolutely not worth it to try and fix the car. And I keep trying to negotiate with them. Like, hey, there's not a lot out here and I don't have a whole lot of money. Is there anything we can do? And they're saying it could be more than $5,000 just to fix the frame, not including replacing the radiator, the battery, all the parts that would have to be replaced, even though a considerable amount of that front end is under warranty still, because I've put so much into the car. They're telling me it's not worth it. Right now I have two offers on older Subarus, an '08 and an '06. Nothing else is worthwhile. I'm trying to find anything and everything on the market. Michigan sucks for buying used cars. I can't find anything less than $4,000 or $5,000. I can't find anything less with 187,000 miles on it or above. Most of the vehicles for sale are 200,000 miles or more, and they still want $5,000 for these cars. Lots of Chevy Impalas, 2013 Chevy Impalas, which is a terrible year for Impala. Trying to think what else. I'm seeing BMWs and Mercedes, and I can't afford to repair those cars, even if I could afford the car itself, and they got 200,000 miles on it. So I don't have a whole lot of options. Some of it's the price point, some of it's just where I live. I have two offers on Subarus. They both have more than 200,000 miles on it, and they still want $4,000 or $5,000 for it. So I am in a situation, and Monday is coming soon, and we don't know how the kids are going to school and whatever. So if you guys would like to contribute to my car situation, I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for everyone who has already contributed to it. I really appreciate all of you guys. But anybody would like to try and help bump me up a little bit to maybe to where I could have some more options, because I really am at the point where I have like $4,000 to try and get a car, and it is not working, and I am stressing about it. And shout out to Paul's Auto. They're holding my poor dead Subaru right now. I am basically just taking up space in their lot. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. If I scrap it, I only get $200. I can't bring the car here to part it out to sell the parts to make more money. I can't part it out there at the shop. They're already giving me the grace of a parking spot for my heap. So I don't really know what I'm going to do, but if you guys would like to contribute, all the donation links are in the descriptions, or if you click on the link tree, it has all the donation links all being a part of it. If you would like to support what's happening, but also get something out of it in return, you're welcome to join any of the membership programs. That way it's a little bit of back and forth. That's that with that. Outside of the Subaru situation, We would have been live on time today, but right at 1 o'clock, some cyber criminals decided to hit me hard and take over my accounts. And so for the last 30 minutes, I have been fighting to regain access to all of my specific accounts that run all of this and also control the units inside my house. So that happened because cyber criminals decided that I've lost my vehicle and they should show up to take everything else I have. Thankfully, I've won that battle, and we are here today, right now. I'm trying to think what else there was. There was something else I was going to tell you guys about, and now I can't remember exactly what that was. Oh, the website situation. The website went down yesterday. It was down most of yesterday. It was not my fault. There wasn't anything I could do. I did reach out to the team that manages my server. They were experiencing some sort of issue. They did not tell me that it was a DDoS attack or anything specific. They said that there was some sort of maybe poor code or something that happened. It caused issues with all the websites that they were hosting. My specific server that I pay for was in that chain, and so there was issues in functionality. There was no loss of information. There was no breach of security or anything like that, so you do not have to worry about that kind of stuff. We were just basically suspended for a moment, but they said that they have fixed those issues. They're put in procedures to prevent that from happening again. You may still experience some sort of glitches or whatever. Usually if you refresh the page, it'll straighten things out over on the website. By the end of the day, we shouldn't have those problems anymore. So now that you guys are up to speed with what's happening here, let me read through the schedule really quick, and then I'll flip through the chats to make sure I'm not just sitting in my living room screaming at my TV. We will be starting off with a video titled, "This County has had enough of this ridiculous stuff." I don't know if they meant to sound like Dr. Seuss when they wrote that, or if it's just how I read it, but it's talking about Chicago. Apparently the locals in Chicago are really done with the border crossers. They feel that they already get the bottom of the barrel, and now border crossers are here to redeem the bottom of the barrel, and the locals get even less. They get pushed back to the end of the line of handing out, what's left as far as resources in Chicago, and they're pissed about it, which is pretty interesting, especially because of the community that happens to be mad. Some people are saying, well, that's kind of weird to see people who were supporting BLM 3 years ago are now kind of turning their back on border crossers. Either way, we'll discuss that when we get there. Then we have a video titled, "This is a Strategic Blunder," talking about emptying our fuel resources. They said we have like less than 17 days worth of fuel stored in our resources. I don't know a whole lot about what that means, but we're going to cover it in the video. It's just more old man Walter destroying America while smiling and grinning at us, insisting that he's doing what's best for all of us. Then we have a video titled, "Students Form Banned Book Clubs Amid Increase in Ban Attempts." This whole banned book situation is really interesting, and I don't think it's cleared up enough. When we think of banned books, or at least when I think of banned books over the last few years, I keep thinking about the shapeshifter books, the weird rainbow books that were in school. Those are catching all the headlines. These are what I and a lot of other like-minded hooligans believe when they say banned books. We're like, oh yeah, we don't need those books in school. But they're also banning books like Flying Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and books like that we read in school that was to prove a point because it was talking about World War II and things like that, and just to give you a glimpse of what that state of mind and perception was back in those times, which was the point of why we read those books. Those books are now considered banned, which is, I don't think, is a good thing. So we have an actual movement of censorship that is actually censoring books that are not bad, at the same time as a movement that is banning books that are not appropriate for children. And these two things are happening at once, so a lot of times when we hear a book ban, we're like, good, but it's not good. There's two things happening, and you have to dig deeper than the surface to decide if you support what's happening or not. Now, we'll go through that video and we'll decide what path that specific video is on. Then we'll be moving forward to a video titled, "Jim Jordan Reacts to Speaker Endorsement by President Trump," which is pretty interesting. I mentioned that yesterday, that there was some talk of Jim Jordan maybe being presented as Speaker of the House, being eligible or whatever, however that needs to be phrased. And then we also mentioned yesterday that President Trump is supposed to be going to the Capitol to also offer himself as Speaker of the House. So both of those things are going on right now, which is pretty cool. Then we have a video titled Hillary Clinton Rips Jim Jordan After Trump Endorses Him for Speaker of the House. We're going to hear that old windbag put her 2 cents on the matter just to rile us up. There really is no other reason to take a gander at Hillary Clinton other than maybe facing the person that's going to hit you with the heart attack gun, or hearing the crap that comes out of her mouth just to enjoy some propaganda. So that's what we're facing then, and we will be wrapping things up today with a video titled Vivek Ramaswamy Speaks Out After Protesters Crash into his SUV. So this video is basically an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy. It shows a very small clip of him talking with the protesters. But if you're a part of Gilded, which I'm going to also post this on the website, I have a video that I posted from Twitter. This shows Vivek Ramaswamy versing the protesters, and they're unruly protesters, the same shitheads we've been watching for the last 3 years, who demand response and answers, but then when you go to give them an answer, they just want to talk all over you. They don't actually want a conversation. They just want to bark at you until you punch them in the face, and then they're a victim afterwards. But it's interesting to watch Vivek go back and forth with these protesters. The stuff they're talking about I can't show because of YouTube community guidelines, so if you would like to see that video, go to Gilded or be a part of the website so you can see that interaction between Vivek and the protesters, because it is mildly entertaining. So anyways, that's what the menu is today. We're going to read through the chat really quick, make sure you guys are here and listening, and then we're going to move forward. My goodness. I'm already feeling burned out, and we just started the day. Let's see, where does the chat begin? I wish there was a way to clear the chat on the website, and there probably is, and I just don't know how to do it. But I have to try and find the line between yesterday's comments and today's. Let's see. I think this is from today. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom. What's up, Annette? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Matthew? What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Hair Juicer? Happy freedom, all of you hooligans. Appreciate you guys being here. Come back around and read through the chat in just a moment. I want to make sure everything is running smoothly. Oh, I should have told you guys to hit that like button, because it doesn't look like you did it. Hit that like button. Get us on the front page. What's up, everyone over on Rumble? Happy freedom. I see they did a little change here on Rumble. I seen a post about it on Twitter. I'm actually going to read it right now. We're going to go find it right now, because I love them Rumble updates. Rumble, I think, is going to be a big player in the censorship game. Hopefully they don't turn their back on us, but we'll see. We'll see. If you're worried about that kind of stuff, make sure you go join jeffmaclive.com. There ain't no censorship over there. I don't want you over there acting like an asshole. I will prevent that from happening. But there is no censorship over there. I have no intentions of censoring anyone. And there is no one above us. So yeah, they did. I'm going to show you guys this really quick. They did redo the interface over on Rumble. They changed the chat up. Apparently, super chats, what are they called? Rumble rants. Rumble rants are not at the top of the screen. Hopefully, they've made some other adjustments. I've noticed that if you go into, what do they call this? Theater mode. If you go in and out of theater mode, I've noticed that the emoji button doesn't function correctly. And it looks like they did fix that, actually. So that's cool. So the chat's even better on Rumble if you're a person that just can't stand the chat over on Rumble. And I understand. I have grace for you. Go give it another try. See if you like it better now. If you are on the Android app, excuse me, I'm talking like an idiot today. It's just another day. If you are on Android and you're using the app on Rumble, no wonder you are having so many problems. I went and watched my replay yesterday using the Rumble app hours after we had ended the live, and it was a dumpster fire. It was a dumpster fire. The playback was crap. To find the chat, you have to actually you have to toggle the chat to open it up. It's not just open on its own. There is no subscribe button. I don't think there's a donation button, and it needs some work. The Android app absolutely needs some work. Now, before you uninstall it off of your phone, it is good to have for notifications, especially if there's some back and forth in the comment section. But I think you'll have a better experience if you just use the browser on your phone. If you are on Android and you want to enjoy the live and be a part of the chat, just use your browser. Go to the Rumble website. Keep the app for notifications, but enjoy the experience through the website. It is much better. That's that for Rumble. Thank you so much, Donna, for that $50 donation through Rumble. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support. Let's see. Toward your car fund. I wish I could afford more. Sorry that happened to you. Thank you so much, Donna. I really appreciate it. All right, we're going to be moving forward. I am going to read through the chat. I don't want to miss any of you guys' comments, but this is kind of a long intro, so I got to make sure that everything is functioning correctly. Once we get the video started, I'll come back and I'll read through all the chats and stuff. Let's see. It is really hard to tell on D Live if what's from today and what's not. But happy freedom, all of you hooligans that are watching over on D Live. Again, I'll read through the chats here in a little bit. What's up, everyone over on Kick? Happy freedom. What's up, Tom? What's up, DeRosa? What's up, Ted? What's up, Cat's Eye? Appreciate all of you hooligans being over here. You guys are awesome. What's up, everyone over on Twitch? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Snooks? If I didn't say hi to you already, I appreciate you, Snooks. What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Grey Wolf? What's up, Matt? Make sure I don't miss anybody. Mr. Beansy Beans, I'll read through those comments in just a second. What's up, everyone over on GoofTube? Appreciate you hooligans all being here. I'm gonna scroll through really quick. What's up, Anthony? Happy freedom. Make sure if you guys want me to read your comment over on GoofTube, you got to tag me. There's a lot of you over there, but I wish you guys were all over on Rumble. I don't spend a lot of time on that YouTube chat. What's up, Chrissy? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. All right, hooligans, we're going to get this started before I just get into another rant here. I'll be posting links and all of that stuff here in just a moment, but I want to get this started. We have quite a bit of news to cover. First, I want to remind you, hooligans, go get you a Free the Orange Eagle t-shirt, tank top, zipper hoodie, pullover hoodie, or coffee mug. I think I'm going to get a coffee mug. I did a special coffee mug for this shirt. I believe it's all blacked out. The coffee mug's not just black around the mug, but the entire mug is blacked out. And I think it looks good with the content that we have posted on it. We'll say that. You know, you're not usually excited about mug shots, but that's the Orange Eagle there. If that's not your style, go ahead and check out the Screaming Goat. Lots of good reviews on the Screaming Goat. Almost every hooligan that's got one has come back and given me a story where they were out in public with this shirt on or hoodie or whatever and have received comments, positive comments on the design. So if you would like to check that out, all of that is available at the merch store. I will be posting links in the chat while you guys are watching this first video. Once again, it is titled The Country has had enough of this ridiculous stuff.
You moved to Chicago expecting Chicago. Politicians have decided Chicago is now Guadalajara. You live in a progressive petri dish. Chicago is suddenly crawling with Latin Americans.
You cannot track them. You ain't tracking them good at the police station. You don't know their name, but you want to spread them all over the city. But Emerson Park, we ain't having it.
But yeah, we come in a community of black people where we already get the low scraps. And then you want to take the little scrap, the resources that we have, and put us at the bottom of the barrel? That's not fair, and I won't have it.
So the mayor of Chicago just flew to the border to wrap his head around the migrant situation. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams just flew to Mexico City.
Just landed in Mexico City. It was a great flight. And this is just the beginning of really the journey of trying to be on the ground and understand, the whole flow of the migrant and asylum seekers.
Did he wear a Jets hat to Mexico? That's going to curse us. Biden turned every state into a border state and every mayor into a border czar. The disorder at the border forced Biden to build a wall. Yes, Biden's executive order is waiving 26 federal laws in Texas to break ground on 20 miles of border wall because of a, quote, acute and immediate need to prevent unlawful entries into the U.S. But Biden swore he wouldn't build another foot.
Trump campaigned on build that wall. Are you willing to tear that wall down?
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
So does Biden realize walls work? No. Biden says he's building a wall that doesn't work because it would be against the law not to.
I'll answer one question on the border wall. The border wall, the money was appropriated for the border wall. I tried to get them to reappropriate, to redirect that money. They didn't. They wouldn't. And in the meantime, there's nothing under the law other than they have to use the money for what it was appropriated. I can't stop that.
Do you believe the border wall works?
No.
So wait, Biden ignores Congress all the time. He ignores subpoenas. He ignores Congress on food stamps, on student loan forgiveness. His own family ignores the tax code. He fights Congress in court if he doesn't want to do something. Now suddenly he's forced to follow the law? Biden's been above the law since he set foot in the Oval. And if walls don't work, why'd you cut 100 holes in the walls so antelopes could migrate through? Well, Secretary Mayorkas, who released the statement saying they had to build new wall immediately, hours later said this.
From day one, this administration has made clear that a border wall is not the answer. That remains our position, and our position has never wavered.
I was against the wall before I was for it. So you're building a border wall, even though border walls aren't the answer, and you said you'd never do it, and you never wavered. Got it. Today, Binder had to run out of the briefing.
If you have to build a border wall, but you don't think that it's going to work, then once it's done, are you just going to tear it down?
I'm not getting into hypotheticals from here. I'm just telling you what I can tell you from here. The facts are that DHS is complying with the law. This is from this was under fiscal year 2019 under Republican leadership, and DHS is required to do this. The president asked multiple times of Congress to reappropriate. They did not, and we're not complying by the law.
Yeah, Biden complies with the law except when he takes bribes. The rest of the time, Biden's a stickler.
Prostitute.
Now, the left, uncomfortable with how smoothly society operates without their input, feeling left out and unworthy, micromanage the country like a communist academic, with their experiments exploding nationwide and an election around the corner. We expect to see some more border wall here, maybe a little bit more police over here, and quietly remove their pronouns from their social media profiles. It's too late, though. They own it. They're insane. And this country has had it with this ridiculous stuff, and the left knows it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Yep. Robert L. Peters, pimping from Rhode Island. Old man Walter, he's the problem. He's the problem. And they're doing this goofy stuff in front of us, and nobody even knows what to do about it. They're going to build onto the wall, but they're still going to let them through. Like, what's the point of that? Oh, it's the law. Oh, we're going to start obeying the law now in the White House? Is that how it's going? Maybe we'll get down to whose Coke that was at the White House. I mean, maybe we're going to start following the law all of a sudden. I don't know. And then to see Chicago all upset about the border crossers, that's not what they were saying last year. That's not what they were saying last year. They were all about it. All that patting on the back there. Look at the great things we're doing, letting people come and stay with us, even though they're not legally supposed to be in the country. Well, they ain't got that same tune now. They ain't got that same tune. What happened to when migrant lives are under attack? What do? We cry about it and send them back across the invisible line. That's what it's turned into. It's no longer stand up, fight back. No, they want their little scraps that they get over in Chicago. And I understand. I feel for them. We are all struggling, shoulder to shoulder, staring at our phones. The last thing we need is somebody who isn't supposed to be here eating our food in front of us. I'm a little bit more quiet and well-spoken than marching and standing in the streets about it. But, hey, at least we're all getting on the same page. I'm going to read through the chat really quick, see what your guys' thoughts are, and then we will be moving forward, you guys and gals, before we move on to the next one. Let's see here, Juicer. I hope Rumble fixed the bug where it scrambled my chats. I've experienced that every now and then. We'll see. I'm glad that they are constantly updating. I don't know what's going on with Odyssey. Apparently, the software I use, the middleman service that I use between me and them, again, they're having connection issues with Odyssey. And Odyssey is the only platform I have connection issues with. And apparently it was trying to reconnect over and over again, to such a point where I was hurting their servers and was actually slowing down their entire site just because of me trying to connect to them. It was such a problem that they actually denied access, and now I am not able to connect to the platform, and they want me to speak with customer service for who I'm using now and see if they can figure it out. But this is the third service now that will not connect to Odyssey, and they insist it's my problem. It's something on my end, or not me, but the service that I'm using. I don't know what to do about Odyssey. It's so problematic. It's like having a liberal as an employee, and I hate to say that because I like Odyssey, but Jesus loves us. The connection issue has been going on for a month now. I don't know what to do about it. So either way, they keep saying that they're going to update things, but I haven't seen any updates. Rumble keeps saying they're updating things, and they continue to do so. So I'm pretty happy with that. Hair Juicer, Venmo won't let me pay you. I wonder why. I wonder why that is. I've heard of people having issues using my Venmo, but I don't know why. I think Cassandra has used my Venmo before and it went through, but I don't know a lot about Venmo. You guys said I should have it. I went and I created it. I don't know. I don't know why it's not letting you through. Let's read through chat a little bit more. Matthew, he's a damn mayor, not an international delegate. Yeah, it seems like everybody's going to the border now, but it's all for show. It's just to take pictures and act like they actually did something. Adams going to the border, trying to, I don't know, look cool, take some pictures and stuff. I don't know why. I think it's just part of his ploy to beg old man Walter for money. Adams insisted that all the border crossers come to New York. Well, they're all there, and they're running out of resources, and he's saying it's old man Walter's fault. How about we just close the border? Problem solved. Problem solved. We'll just distribute those goods to homeless Americans. How about that? Sounds good to me. Matthew, he called her Binder. I know. KJP. I don't know. We're going to start calling her Mad and Fuzzy. Sam. Damn Democrats. Yeah. Flipping through chat a little bit more. Donna, yeah, the officer said that I could have taken the deer with me, but I didn't have anywhere to put it. I live in a really tiny apartment, and there's just no way that I could process it, store it, and I don't really like venison, so I'd be trying to get rid of it, and it's just, it would take too much work and resources for something that I'm just going to get rid of anyways and not even enjoy myself. But the officer said I could have taken the deer with me. I asked him if he wanted it, and he said no. So the deer just sat on the right side of the road. Coyotes probably got it. Jeb, I had problems. I had to actually refresh, sometimes run cleaner to get Rumble to function. Yeah, it's the player. The player is an HTML, or is it like HTML5 player or whatever, which is why I don't think it functions very well in the Android app. So it uses your browser's coding to project the video to you. So depending on your browser, you may have to reset and stuff like that. Jasmine's mom, my Brave went down again. I don't know, Brave browser's been having some issues. They've been, because that's what I use too, is Brave browser, and it's been having issues, and I don't know why. Like, I can't play YouTube videos unless I also have Mozilla open and up front. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, I shouldn't have to have a second browser open in order to get the Brave browser to play YouTube videos. It's, something's going on. Everything needs an update. Happy Freedom Rappy. Appreciate you being here. Tam Tam Rumble works really good for me on the laptop and tablet. Glad to hear it. Thank you for the feedback. Let's see. Speedy Girl, is there a pull apart yard in your area? If so, they paid us a lot more for the wrecked Honda than anyone else would, like $1,000 instead of $250. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's so hard because I keep waiting. It's not that I'm waiting. I have to wait for replies from the shop that has my car, and I just found out last night at 5:30, and because they're having phone issues, so they were trying to call me, weren't getting through. I was calling, and they were telling me I was calling somewhere else than where I was supposed to be calling, and there was all this nonsense. 5:30, I found out last night that they don't think the car is worthwhile. They don't even do body work, so they called all the local places in town to do body work. I'm not just some asshole to them. I've spent lots of money with them. I go there and sit there for hours at a time while they fix my car. They've given me rides. They've picked me up to take me to the shop. They've dropped me off when I have to drop my car off. So they're doing some extra work for me. They're letting me let the vehicle sit there until I can figure stuff out. They're trying to get deals and stuff for me to get the car fixed, and they're saying if I don't have $10,000 to put into that Subaru, then I should just look for another car. I even called earlier before getting on the live. There's a 2006 Subaru with 200,000 miles on it. They want $4,500. There's a 2008 Outback that has 187,000 miles on it. They want $4,500. They have a list of all the repairs. I even called the shop and was like, hey, you work on cars all day. I'm just the gynecologist. You're the expert. You tell me, does this sound like a deal? And he was like, I'd keep looking. And so, I mean, I'm trying the best I can. I'm just stuck in a spot where time is running out and I don't have enough funds to reach the next level to have more options. That's just my honest, I'm just being transparent. That's what's happening. And I'm trying as hard as I can to provide this service to all of you guys and do a good job while I'm also trying to fix my life. It's all happening at once, but I'm doing the best I can. Everybody in the chat saying Chicago. I wish it wasn't that way. Chicago could be an awesome place. I've been to Chicago a lot. I went there for Lollapalooza. I've been to Navy Pier. I've eaten at the ESPN restaurant. I went to Disney Quest when that first came out. I don't even know if that's still there. But when that was a new thing, I went to Disney Quest. I've been to Chicago a lot. And it could be a really good place. But man, the crime is just too much. It's too much. We're lucky to have Serum every day. Serum, he lives out in Chicago, and I feel bad for him. But that's his home. So I don't want to talk bad about his home. But I wish he was a little bit more safe while he was at home. What's up, Beach Mama? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being here. Sheepside, I don't see a subscribe button, but I do see a Join Jeff Mac on Locals button that opens a web browser to Locals. That I think if you go through with that, it'd be the same thing as joining the membership program. Because I think when you actually go to the page, it asks you, do you want to support like a one-time donation or subscribe? And I believe if you subscribe, that's joining the membership program for Locals and Rumble, because I think it's all tied. It should be tied together. I know it's kind of confusing because nobody knows what Locals is. Rumble needs to do some more advertisement. Raise awareness that Locals is a thing, and it's not a dating site. They need to change the branding. It sounds like a dating site. RK, both times I've hit a deer, I was able to make it back to my house before the vehicle died. Yeah, that car, I wasn't able to make it back to the house. I would have tried if I would have thought it was going to make it, but it wasn't. I've hit 4 or 5 deer since I've been driving, and it's never been this bad. It's always been like, you smack the deer, headlights explode all over the road, the grill breaks on the car, hood might get crimped, stuff like that, paneling and stuff get pushed back, but I've never had the frame affected before, and so usually I can make it home, and then I got to order parts or go to a scrapyard and get some parts and stuff and replace it, and it looks like a trash can rolling down the road afterwards, but at least it drives and stuff. And I said the same thing to Paul's Auto. I was like, I don't care if it's ugly as long as I can legally drive it on the road without worrying about the hood coming up again or any of that. And they were like, not unless you got 10K. It's not. They were like, they were saying that it would be almost $5,000 doll hairs just to put the frame back the way it's supposed to, let alone buying all the parts. Destiny, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for all the support. Tam Tam, same with Portland, Oregon. Used to be a beautiful city and super cool. Makes me sad and mad. There's a lot of hooligans that feel that way. When we were covering those riots and protests on a daily basis that were happening outside of the Justice Center, there was a lot of hooligans that were real quiet in the chat because that's their home. And everybody else in the chat was like, if you live there, you should leave and blah, blah. And you're an idiot if you live there. And so there was locals that are hooligans that felt like they didn't have a place in the chat because they don't, as Americans, they don't feel like they should have to flee their home because young terrorists are allowed to run the streets. And that we had some situations over that, and I had to kind of raise some awareness, like, yeah, that's a shithole to us that don't live there, but we got hooligans that live there, and we don't want bad things to happen to them. We want them to be safe. So you got to be mindful when you're shitting on somebody else's city, because there's a good chance we got hooligans there. And so have a little grace and stuff like that. I've heard that a lot about Portland, that Portland used to be a good place. Thank you so much, Willie Fixit, for the ice cream donation over on D Live. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Reading through. Thank you so much, Garlic Press, for subscribing for the 2nd month over on Kick. I appreciate you. You're officially a hooligan. You're awesome. I gotta upload the rest of the badges over on Kick, so that's why you got the little number thing. I gotta get all the different badges up there. I will do that. I'll try and have that done later today. So you should probably have a new badge by tomorrow. Let's see here, read through the chat really quick over on Twitch. Oh, Mr. Beansy Beans, I completely understand. And I know what happened to your truck and all that and stuff. I appreciate all the support that you already give me. So no worries. You do not have to explain yourself at all. I totally understand, Mr. Beansy Beans, and I hope you find a vehicle too. I hope everything works out. I really do. Mr. Beansby, that's cool. Yeah, knowing dealers, like people that run dealerships and stuff, is always good because they can get deals. They have access to people that they know from networking and stuff. That could really work out for you, Mr. Beansy Beans, and I hope it does. What's up, Soul For Real? Happy Freedom. Appreciate you being here. Salty Ragu, can I use Outback for bait? I mean, all you're going to catch is lesbians. You're going to have short-haired women coming up trying to fight you over that car. I think the officer was surprised when he pulled up and I was a full-blown grown hooligan standing next to that car. He expected me to have some kombucha and hugging a tree when he pulled up. Instead, there was a dead deer and some Taco Bell in the passenger seat. So what the hell's going on here? I was like, what does it look like? He's like, try to get some Taco Bell in the middle of the night? I was trying, but the deer said I had to take a detour at the end. Cassandra, yeah, I assume Locals was a dating app the first time I heard of it. Yeah, I mean, that's completely understandable. I had to look into it. I was a part of Locals before Rumble owned it, just because I'm everywhere. I try to be everywhere. Social media is like fishing, so you cast the bait out into social media, people find it, and you bring them to where the live is. And so I'm everywhere. I am everywhere. Well, hooligans, I know I'm dragging this all out and everybody's starting to leave and whatnot. We're going to move forward to this next video. It's titled, This is a Strategic Blunder. It's talking about Old Man Walter depleting our resources from ammo to fuel. This is specifically about fuel. But he's just draining us out. He's draining all the life out of America and all of us Americans. Let's get this started, hooligans.
Contributor Phil Flynn. Phil, great to see you. So it's amazing, even for a dumb guy like me who doesn't get all this stuff. You can look at the graph of the oil, of how much oil was in the reserve, and just see the drop off right in front of the 2022 election. Is that how this is supposed to work?
It's not supposed to work that way. And if you were an Olympic skier, you'd be scared of that chart because that is straight down. And it really raises bigger issues about the United States national security. I don't believe many people in the energy industry think we are prepared to handle a major emergency, whether it be a bad storm or a war, or if OPEC decides to cut off supply. And what's worse, this is such a strategic blunder from a geopolitical viewpoint. In fact, Saudi Arabia and OPEC, they were supposed to get mad that President Biden was going to teach them a lesson by releasing oil from the reserve. They said, go ahead, empty your reserve. In fact, they've encouraged it, and they're encouraging even more by raising prices for their oil so other people buy our oil, so we're tight on supply.
Right, and the fact, Phil, it will take years and years to refill it. And will put upward pressure on prices. When just a short while ago, they were above $90 a barrel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And in fact, I would argue the reason why we just got to $95 a barrel is because we stopped releasing oil from the reserve because it was empty. Then the market had to buy it from real players, right? And there wasn't supply because when we released oil from the reserve, the market didn't respond with more production. So that caused, a shortage of supply, and that's why we've seen this incredible price spike.
And again, dumb guy here, but, just technically speaking, if you're going to refill the SPR, you'd rather pay $2 a gallon than, say, $4 a gallon, right?
You would. And this is the thing. Just a few months ago, the Biden administration was bragging what a great trade they made. Hey, when the war in Ukraine happened, we sold oil at 100. We were going to buy it back at $70. What happened? When they told everybody where they're going to buy it, as soon as it got close to there, nobody said, no way, And so they're really locked in a position. What that means is years of, instability, energy insecurity for this country because we're in big trouble.
And just a reminder, last year, Biden and crew leased fewer acres for oil and gas drilling offshore and on federal land than any other administration in the first 2 years, dating back to at least the end of World War II. And they've canceled plans to auction drilling rights in 3 regions. And they just offered up, 3 lease sales in the Gulf. But it's not just the SPR that they've drained. They have made sure that for 5 to 10 years to come, our supplies in the United States, our drilling, exploration, and production will be decimated.
It is, and it's infuriating people in the energy industry that believe in this country and believe in American energy. And what's really irritating to them is when the Biden administration comes back and then tries to take credit that oil production hit a record high. Look what a great job we're doing. And they're saying, what? You've done everything to do to thwart us. We could be producing 3 to 5 million barrels more a day.
Thank you.
So believe me, when we hear that from the administration, a lot of people aren't happy.
Yeah, it's a flim-flam when you hear them both claiming to put the squeeze on the oil industry at the same time that they try to take credit for dropping gas prices temporarily in a given week. It's all a big con.
Thank you, Phil. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to see you too, Dagan.
Be well.
Old man Walter, bleeding is dry. Bleeding is dry. World War III is supposedly on the horizon. I don't know, they've been saying that for years. But they say now more than ever, we're so close to nuclear war. Might as well make sure we don't have any bullets. We don't have any ways to defend ourselves. We don't have any fuel. Sounds like we're ready. We're ready for World War III at some terrible times. That's all done by design. It's all done by design. They're bringing in border crossers. Biden's telling everybody that we're out of ammo. Now we're coming to the realization we're out of fuel too. That's great. That's great. It just sounds more like the government needs to shut down. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Being a politician is the only job that you can have where you just suck ass in front of everyone and no one fires you. No one even cares. They just bitch online and then nothing happens. We need more control over what happens with the government. Not just elections every 4 years or whatever. Like, we need something to where if stuff is going bad today, we can start a petition or we can sign some forms or we can do something and pull these assholes out. Like what happened with McCarthy. He didn't sit a full term. They pulled him out. Well, we can't rely on Congress and all them people to do stuff about old man Walter. We can't even do stuff about Congress. We need to be able to do that. We need more control over what happens for politicians in the government. We need it. We need it. We're in this position because we don't have those resources. We don't have a way to kick out people who are not doing their job. We didn't elect them to get up there and act like assholes and be celebrities. We elected them to go fix the country and do right by us, and they're not. And we should be able to do something about it. Cassandra, I drive a 2016 RAV4. I paid $85 to fill my tank yesterday. I was actually looking at some RAV4s. I like Toyotas. I like Toyotas and Subarus. Subarus need a lot of work, but they all come as pretty decent cars, and I can't afford a Toyota. There's one Toyota I can afford, and it's a 98 Toyota Camry or something like that, and it's got 250,000 miles on it. I can't buy that. It's too old, but Toyotas are good cars. I have only filled my gas tank twice in my whole life. I've never filled my gas tank up except for those 2 times, and both times was the first time was when Trump dropped the prices, and they were unbelievably cheap. Everybody told me to go fuel up. And then the second time was the day before the lockdowns. They told us that the restaurants were going to close at 3 o'clock and that they would not be open until the Emergency Act ended. And I turned in vacation time. Me and my friend Carmelo, who I've done a flag march with on the live, he came and told me, hey, 3 o'clock, everything's shutting down and we don't know when it's going to open again. I'm leaving right now to get supplies. And he was like, if you got vacation time, turn it in. And we went into the manager's office, and they were like, what are you doing? Like, I'm leaving. They're like, you can't leave. The shift's not over for another 8 hours. I was like, that's too bad. I'm leaving right now. Here's my vacation time. And they were like, well, what if we deny it? I was like, then I guess I quit. But I'm going to eat at a restaurant for what could be the very last time, and I'm going to put gas in my car, and I'm going to buy all the toilet paper I can get. And then I left, and I spent like $300 on ammunition and all kinds of stuff. Back in the day, back when the lockdown started. It was the day before my birthday, actually. That's why I can always remember when the lockdown started here in Michigan. It was the day before my birthday. It was the day after my birthday, actually. I went to an electronic dance music concert in Grand Rapids and saw, I can't even think of their name right now. Saw somebody. Excision. I saw Excision, and then the very next day, lockdown. It's a good way to end my freedom. RK, I had full tank when Trump was in office. Yep. Everybody was doing better when Trump was in office. What is your name? Why is the text so small on DLive? I can't read anybody's name. It's driving me nuts. Balls. We'll go with Bo, because I can't figure out what your name is because the text is too small. But Bo, thank you so much for the 2 lemons over on DLive. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Garlic press. Can't never go wrong with buying toilet paper and Spam. I forgot I need to buy some Spam, and I need to make a video eating that stuff because we were talking about it a couple weeks ago, and you guys were informing me on the good, the bad, and the ugliest Spam, and I need to go try it. DeRosa and some cookies. Yeah, can't go wrong with cookies. Or granola bars. Granola bars go bad, but they just fall apart. I've never seen a moldy granola bar. DeRosa, I bet KJP drives a Subaru. DeRosa, I bet the Subaru drives her. I bet the Subaru rides her to work every day. Mr. Beans and Beans, RAV4s are not safe. I know someone used to live with one time, got killed in a RAV4. I bet it matters what year you get. Someone wrote me, and I forgot to write them back, and they sent me an email through one of my emails because I run like 8 of them. But they sent me an email that brought me to a website. I'm going to tell all of you hooligans because this website is really useful. And I would have never known that it existed if this person didn't write me, which I'm going to write them back and thank them for telling me. But it's called carcomplaints.com. You can type in the make and model, and it will list all the years and all the complaints that have been reported on that vehicle. And it has a graph that's really easy to read. So if you're shopping for vehicles, you can type in make model. It'll show you all the years, and you can decide if you want to take a chance on that year's model based on all of its complaints to the dealership and recall and all that stuff. And it's a very useful website, and I would have never known if that individual did not email me. I'm not going to guess who it is. I'll just respond to them through the email, but I really appreciate it. If you're watching right now, I appreciate you sending me that information. So for real, I didn't know you were on DLive. DLive reached out to me and asked me if I would bring the news to the platform. And I thought that was really great. We had a falling out 2 years ago. Could have been just a miscommunication. I talk about that all the time. But they made me an offer and wanted me to be like officially promoted by them. I guess on social media they're supposed to be promoting me as a DLive live streamer. I don't know how all that's working. I haven't really seen them come in on their side of the deal other than re-giving me access to my account. But yeah, we're live on DLive right now. Thank you so much, Guy Dub, for the 2 ice cream and the 8 lemons over on D Live. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. But yeah, so for real, we just started on D Live Monday. I think either Monday or Tuesday was our first day back on D Live, and it's been good so far. Snooks, did you know your website's down? How is it down? I'm sitting here talking with Cassandra on it. Maybe it's because I haven't refreshed the page. It's not on my end. It has something to do with the servers. And like I said, they're supposed to be fixing it. So I don't... This could just be residual from the issues going on. It's not on my end. It's the server. Maybe they told me that they were working on it and stuff. I put it on an announcement. I don't know. I don't know why that's happening. They'll fix it though. Let's see. Cassandra, I like Toyotas. They're cheap to maintain. Yeah. My grandpa used to only drive Toyota pickups. He had a 2011 Toyota Tundra back in like 2012 or something like that. And he used to let me drive it every once in a while. And that was a really nice truck. It was the V6 version. When he passed away, supposedly it was supposed to be left to me. And his son, who is a millionaire out in California, before my grandpa died, he came and got whatever it's called, power of attorney. And as soon as my grandpa died, he took the house, he took the car, he took the bank accounts, he took everything, and he left. So the house that I grew up playing in for the summer, me and my sisters and stuff used to go there every summer, house on the lake that was supposed to be left to me and my sister, it's gone. The truck was supposed to be left to me, it's gone. There was a percentage of money that was supposed to be left to us, it's gone. And I mean, I don't care that much. I'd rather have my grandpa back than all of that stuff. And I told my grandpa that before he died, because he was constantly trying to get me to list all the things that I wanted. And I was like, I'd rather you just keep it and stay with me. Unfortunately, he died, because that's what we do. And his son came and took everything from us. So we don't have anything left. I got a rug from 1950 or something like that laying in my hallway. And so when it gets hot here, it smells like I'm at my grandpa's house. But that's all I have from that, and some coffee mugs. That's all I got left of my grandpa. Destiny, I give ammo as a Christmas present and birthday gifts. That's awesome. You can never have too much ammo. That's awesome. I love that. Snooks, I'll look into it. Let's read through the chat really quick. Duel, I'm a week from being homeless. It's no good. It's no good. Housing is so hard to come by right now. If my apartment kicked me out, I wouldn't even have anywhere to go. There is no apartments. There is no houses near me available. I've been looking because I want to move out of here because I really want to do cooking with hooligans and start another channel where we'll just do our own recipes. You guys can send me recipes. I'll cook them in some sort of fashion and then give them a try, and we'll make videos and stuff. And I think it would be really funny. And we've been wanting to do it for a couple years now, but I can't do it in my tiny little kitchen. And I'm starting to like outgrow this apartment. I have like stacks of stuff all around the house. I pretty much live in a storage unit because I just own too much stuff. I moved from a 3-bedroom, 3-story house on 10 acres of property to this little apartment. And I owned everything in the house. So when I got kicked out and I had to come here, me and another individual went separate ways. I had to move all my stuff here, so it looks like a storage unit. What's up, Captain Seamus? Happy freedom. Decap, my wife's brother tried to do the same thing to us, take our family home, take everything, and then go back out to the West Coast. I took him to court, cost me $40,000, but I won my case. I'm glad you won. I'm glad you won. What I'm trying to do, and the problem is that my grandpa was so mobile. He was in Ludington, he was down in Benton Harbor, he was in Niles, he was down in Florida and Lake Wales, and so we don't know where his will is. And until we call the attorney, he's been dead for like 5-6 years now, until we can find the attorney to tell him, hey, Grandpa kicked the bucket, the will hasn't been read. And so his son is going through and selling everything and getting rid of everything or keeping everything, depending on what it is, before the will gets read. And if we can't find the attorney, the will may never get read. I don't know how wills work, but I know the will has not been read. And we can't figure out where his attorney is. So we just have this kind of limbo situation, me and my sister, who we were promised things from my grandfather. We've kind of just wrote it off. Like, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to get help. His son has already taken and sold most things, and we don't know about anything else, and we don't know what to do. I just hope that one day the attorney finds out, or some sort of process happens where they decide to read the will, and either they'll call us or they won't, depending on if we're in the will, and we believe we are. I know that the law says that if so that truck that was supposed to be left to me, if in the will it says that that truck was supposed to be left to me and he sold it for $11,000, that he owes me that $11,000. I know that that's how the law works with having a will, but it has to be read. And until that happens, I just assume everything's gone. Kevin, get some land and a little hobby farm. I would love to. If I could get a little piece of land, I would probably put a storage unit on it, or like a pool barn. And I would probably have a garden or grow some plants or store my heap of a car. I would do something. I need land and stuff, but all of this takes time and money. Jeb, I still want a time machine. I don't know if I want a time machine. They say that we know how to time travel. The problem is that we're moving so fast in the galaxy that when you go through the doorway and you come out the other side, the galaxy left you behind, and so you're just gone. There's lots of documentation of the military experimenting with time travel and teleportation, and they go through and they don't come out the other side, and they don't know where they went. They have no idea where those people went. They just left. They walked through a doorway. I think it has something to do with sound waves or something, and they're gone. They don't know what happens to them. Jasmine's mom, something's going on with the website. The server's acting up. But there's nothing I can do about it. Websites are a lot more complicated than people realize. There's nothing I can do about it. I've been notified that there's stuff going on with the team that handles the server, and that they're doing everything they can to fix it. And that's it. I can't do anything else about it. It'll be fine. Everybody that's got an account on the website, you will be fine. It's just consider it maintenance. It'll be back. It'll go back. Here, Juicer, you're good on the site. I think as long as you stay on the live page and you don't refresh it, you're good. Because I'm seeing your guys' messages. But if I try to open a second tab and go to the website, it ain't loading. Cassandra, yeah. My grandpa was the best man I've ever known. And it's crazy because he had a 7th grade education. He was poor his whole life. He was a part of the Merchant Marines. He was a boxer in the Merchant Marines. He believed in God. He believed it was worthwhile to be a good person even when nobody was paying attention, that it had benefits that you just can't understand unless you be a good person. He was respectful. He was responsible. He cared about people. And he was loved by pretty much everybody I ever seen him interact with. They were always really proud to know him. And I didn't understand when I was a kid. I just wanted to go. I was like, I don't want to sit here and hear you old guys talk. And he lived to be, I think, he was either 92 or 94. And, yeah, best person I've ever known. Sounds like your grandpa's son is a selfish piece of work. Well, he grew up in California. Him and all of his kids. You could tell by looking at them that they grew up in California. But whatever's going to happen, it'll happen. Let's see. CL Baby, is your grandfather's last name Mac too? No. What is that name? Womack. His name was Womack. His last name. Alright, hooligans, we're going to move on to the next one. Like I said, I could just sit here and talk and talk and talk. It's all the trauma I've been going through for a week. I got to get it off my chest. I don't mean to drag this out. This next video we're going to cover is titled Student Loans Form Banned Book Clubs Amid Increase in Ban Attempts. As I said at the beginning of the live, there is 2 different book bans kind of happening at the same time. One is a book ban for Rainbow Brook books that are inappropriate. Why can I not talk? They're not appropriate for children. And I believe most of you know what I'm talking about. Some rainbow books, some shapeshifter books, some books with some disturbing images that should not be shown to children but have been put in school libraries. Those book bans are happening. That's what we hear about a lot coming out of Florida. DeSantis is removing those inappropriate books to protect children, and I'm all for that. But there's another book ban going on where they're banning books like Flying Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Fahrenheit 451 and books that we read in school. Those books are being banned also, and I don't really support that because I don't think there's anything wrong with those books, but I think those books being banned is an attempt to erase history, kind of like when they're pulling down statues and renaming buildings and stuff because those people were bad racists or whatever the soft and stupid say about them. So there's 2 different book bans happening at the same time. One I support, one is just a form of censorship, and I obviously don't support that. We're going to figure out what they're talking about here right now.
Welcome back, everybody. So far this year, there's been a record number of book bans really across the country that we've kept our eye on in states across America.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people have taken issue with. Some people very supportive of the book bans. Others think that it's really preventing people from that freedom to read what they want. Now there are book clubs being started by young people. Our Xavier Walton has more on these book ban clubs that are happening nationwide. Xavier.
Adrian, everybody seems to have an opinion on this. So here in South Florida, we wanted to take you to a unique spot. It is a bookstore, the Old Florida Bookshop. It is outside. They go by the honor system. I actually spoke to the owner of this Old Florida Bookshop. He said he applauds what these young readers are doing at such a young age.
The chatter over banned books has never been louder. The American Library Association says a record number of books have been banned or challenged this year. According to the ALA, books that touch on race or the LGBTQ community make up the majority.
The more I learned about it, the angrier I got.
16-year-old Iris Mogul from Miami turned that anger into inspiration. And this is where she lets it all out, once a month at Books and Books.
There's so many classics that have been banned or challenged.
In response, Iris founded the Banned Book Club. She says it's her safe space and a place where people can read and discuss whatever books they want.
Not wanting your child to read a book is a personal decision, but there shouldn't be a way for one person to make that decision for everyone.
It's this chapter in American history forcing young readers like Iris to write her story. Young readers from Florida to Texas and Washington State have created similar groups starting a movement of their own. According to the ALA, in Florida, there were 22 attempts to challenge nearly 200 book titles. In Texas, there were 30 attempts targeting more than 1,100 titles. According to PEN America, Texas and Florida are the states with the most banned books, but at least 11 states have seen challenges this year of 100 books or more.
There's always been book banning that has gone on in this country.
Mitchell Kaplan, the owner of Books and Books, where Iris's Banned Book Club meets, is proud.
And to be honest, it's what gives me hope. The hope that young people and other people, young and old, are opposed to this.
So from Books and Books to the Old Florida Bookshop, the owner here, William Croissant, saying that he supports what they're doing over there in Coral Gables. That's near Miami as well. And before I send it back to you, I'm going to say hello to our little friend here. Hello, good morning. Good morning. You going to say hello? Yep, a little high five. You watching Morning in America? Yes? Okay. On that note, I'll send it over to you.
Are you a cat person? Or a dog person?
I'm going to be honest, I'm more of a dog guy myself. But you know,
you
I don't
play a
discriminate.
really good cat person on TV, though. That was very sweet, Xavier.
Really?
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation now.
Well, that's interesting. A banned book club. Now, I don't think these banned books are being taken off the shelves. I believe you can go on Amazon and buy these books. I think they're just being taken off the shelves in schools, as far as I know. So, in the sense of them kind of holding a book club for banned books at a bookstore, it's almost like a novelty thing. Because I think you could go to Barnes & Noble's and get Huckleberry Finn and all that kind of stuff that's supposedly banned. I think that stuff's just banned at school. I can't imagine they're pulling books off the shelf. You can get the Dark Bible. You can purchase copies of the Dark Bible. It's the Bible from the point of view of Lucifer. It's kind of, some people consider it the other half of the story to the Bible, or the Bible 2. They're just copies, like soft cover copies. The legitimate copies of the books are in museums. There's like 2 of them, and I think one of them's in Italy. If you can buy books like that, I'm sure that you could probably get some Huck Finn, some Fahrenheit 456 or whatever it is, whatever the books are. I did a lot of reading, you could tell. I don't think that they're necessarily out of reach. I just don't think that they're at school. So for the bookstore to kind of hold that is, I want to say, a little misleading. But it is good that kids are actually interested in reading, because staring at their phones seems to be all they ever want to do. So I am impressed that kids want to learn to read and then go and actually do the reading. So that's good. But I really hope it's for the right reasons, because the way that girl sounds, she sounded radical, and I couldn't tell if it was because she's against censorship or if because she doesn't like that she can't learn about turning your wiener inside out while being at the school library. I couldn't really tell the difference there. It was hard to see if there was separation between those two paths. But either way, censorship is no good, and they better not be taking books off the shelf. But I wouldn't be surprised considering everything else going on around us. And I worry that they're just trying to screw it up so much that by the time that Trump gets into office, he'll have to spend all 4 years just trying to bring us back to where we were prior to the downfall that old man Walter has brought us to. I mean, I want to see America being great again, not America just going back to what we had 3 years ago. I mean, it was fine 3 years ago, but it'd be cool to be even better than where we were 3 years ago. And every day old man Walter makes more work for poor President Trump to come back and have to right all the wrongs that have been done by this Biden administration. Let's read through the chat really quick before we move forward. DCAT, I appreciate you. Happy to have you here, DCAT. RK, in China, they're rewriting the Bible, making Jesus the bad guy. I would not doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. There is missionaries. Is it missionary? I think it's called missionary. There's religious people who believe in God, who take, I actually know people that do this. They'll go near China, or they'll go near North Korea, and they will take pages of the Bible and string them to balloons and fly them across the invisible line, and people will retrieve these copies, these pages of the Bible. And sometimes it starts underground movements in China where Chinese citizens will get together and put their Bible pages together and read them. And of course they're not in chronological order or whatever, but this is all they have of God, as you know, from the outside of communism. So they read about it and they enjoy it, and then they all get together with all their pages and stuff and kind of create like Bible clubs. But then they get fined out by the CCP, and they can be put to death for having a page of the Bible, especially in North Korea. If you get caught with the Bible in North Korea, it's death penalty, and they might string you up in the street in front of everybody. It's a big deal over there. They don't want you to learn about God because God can make you free. Your flesh may be imprisoned, but he can free your soul if you let him, and that's all it takes is you letting him. And so there's people who put in big bucks to make that stuff happen. Another thing they do is they take flash drives. I don't think I have one here, but you know, a little USB drive, and they put the Bible on it in audio form or video form. Sometimes it'll have PDF files on it with the Bible. Sometimes it has love of God stories and like videos and stuff like that, and they'll do the same thing. They'll put them on balloons, fly them into the country and stuff like that, just to teach other people about God. And I think that stuff is crazy. It's good, but that's like warriors of God out there doing that stuff. DCAT, yeah, I agree. I think old man Walter was a bad person by his own choices, but I think at this point it's just senior abuse. I don't think he knows much of anything going on. He should be sitting somewhere in a warm room with Price is Right on, staring out the window, thinking about the golden years. That's what he should be doing, in my opinion. Jab, dark times we live in. Yes, we do. Pumpkin, God is in their hearts. It is. God is. God is everywhere. Ted, I know they send adult media to North Korea tied to balloons. Yeah, they do that too. Yep. That's how they got Family Guy and stuff in North Korea and in China, is through USB drives and stuff. They really value American media over there. Like, if you can get them cowboy movies and stuff, like old Western movies, they love that stuff in those countries. They love it. They love it over there. Mr. Beansy Beans, I wish I had a time machine. There was incapable intelligence to create a time machine, take everything back from the generation or decades of everything and bring it back to the 1970s, maybe the 1980s. The problem is every time we try to step in for God, something bad happens. So even if you could go back and your intentions are pure and genuine to fix things that have gone wrong in the past, different bad things would happen. In a sense, you're rewriting God's story. We all have free will, but God knows what's going to happen. He knows all the different choices that we're going to make before we even make them. But it's up to us to choose to make the right choices versus the wrong choices. And even when we make the wrong choices, God still loves us, and he'll never turn his back on us, even when we turn our back on him. And I think that even if we could go back and change things, different bad things would happen, because everything happens for a reason. The cause and effect is what keeps us moving forward. Otherwise, we would get comfortable and just stand still. And even when you make all the right choices, things still happen. Look at my Subaru. I put so much money into it because I plan on driving that car for like the next 10 years. I drive like an old man. I come to a complete stop every time I have to stop. I use my blinkers. I follow the speed limit. Everything. I do everything I'm supposed to do as far as my knowledge goes. Never been in a car accident. Never been pulled over. I'm never speeding. So what gets me? The damn deer. Can't prepare for everything. You're not able to. Life will happen to you. Even if you take all the protective measures, it'll still happen. What I just went through is a great example of that. I don't know where I'm going to go from here, but thanks to all of you hooligans and thanks to God, I'm still here and I have another chance to keep moving forward. So don't stress on it too hard, Mr. Beansy Beans. Just keep making the right choices and everything will work out. I firmly believe in it. Let's read through chat really quick. Snooks, do you know the website is down? I do. Oh, that's an old text. Okay. We're past that. Adrian, even in smashed cars, God is everywhere and everything. Absolutely. I really believe that we're all in God's mind. It just makes the most sense to me. We're all created in God's image. God can take nothing and turn it into something. And in this world that we live in, the only thing where we could take nothing and make it into something, create something without resource, is in our mind. It's the only place in existence where we can just form something from nothing. And so I believe that we're actually all in the mind of God. That we think of the galaxy and the universe as a place to explore. What do they call it? The final frontier. But really it's just space in God's mind where he just hasn't created anything yet. That's why everything moves timely. That's why everything is in its own rhythm. And we all perfectly function together. The galaxy, the environment, the ecosystem, all of it. It is all timely. And the reason it runs perfectly synergy with each other is because we're all in God's mind. And that's just what I believe. And it also assists my belief system as when you speak to God in your conversation and relationship with God. That's why he can hear you. That's why he's omnipresent. That's why he knows everything. Because we're actually in his mind. There's nothing inside of our environment that's not a part of God. So that's just, I don't know. It's just my thoughts. It's just my thoughts. Adrian, I'm still carless since the end of July. I really feel for you. I'm sorry to hear that, Adrian. Yeah, cars, housing, food, it costs way too much right now. I wish we could do something about it. What's up, Captain Seamus? Happy freedom. Captain Seamus made it to the website. I don't know what else to say about the website. See, I just got to it. I just reloaded the page. Boom, right there. No problem. Like I said, it's the server. I have a team that I pay for every month to manage that stuff. They're on it. They're working on it. There's nothing for me to do as far as the website goes. DCAT, I will email you. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you guys can hear the loudspeaker outside my slider. There's something going on at the school next door. Rappy, God, family, and country. Absolutely. Pumpkin, absolutely. All right, we're going to move forward. I'm probably dragging this out. You guys are probably having a terrible time. I am sorry. I am sorry. Doing the best I can, I promise. So this next video is titled Jim Jordan Reacts to Speaker Endorsement from President Trump. We spoke about this yesterday. I was hearing rumors, seeing things, talking about Jim Jordan possibly, could be elected as next Speaker of the House. I didn't see where Trump actually endorsed him. It was probably done through Truth Social or something like that. But between Jim Jordan and President Trump, it seems to have the most support. I've seen those names come up more than any other name of a potential Speaker of the House. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get it started.
You're saying you're a uniter. What is different between you and Steve Scalise?
I think this race comes down to two questions. I said this yesterday. Who can unite the conference? Who can also unite, I guess, maybe three questions. Who can unite the conference? Who can unite conservative Republicans and our party around the country? And then who can go tell the country what we're doing and why it's important to them, to their family, to their business, to their community. And look, I like the job I got now. I never wanted to do this job, but someone has to. Who can bring the team together and can go communicate to the country, and that's why I'm running.
Well, what were your conversations like with Trump? You got his endorsement, and what do you expect him to do to try to get you the votes in this race?
I appreciate the president's endorsement. He's the leader of the party. He's going to be our presidential nominee, and I think he's going to be our next president, so I appreciate that. But we're focused also on, the key thing is our colleagues, and I'm talking with, we got from Freedom Caucus to people in the middle to committee chairs to Jeff Van Drew, who was Democrat 4 years ago. We got all kinds of across-the-board support, and we're just going to keep working.
Well, what do you hooligans think? Would Jim Jordan be good Speaker of the House? And if you think so, why? I still don't understand why people want President Trump to be Speaker of the House. Why? I just can't understand the strategy. If Trump is Speaker of the House and old man Walter gets back in the Oval Office, how would that be a good thing? And then I've also seen people say that he could be Speaker of the House and still become president after the presidential election. And I don't understand how that works either. So, I could see why Jim Jordan being Speaker of the House and President Trump being president in 2024, I could see why that would be a good thing. But the other way around, I don't really understand. What's up, Adrian? Happy freedom. Appreciate you being over on the website. Let's see, and read through chat really quick. Jasmine's mom, Jordan would be good. Speaker of the House. RK, you feel the same way? DCAT, I believe Jordan would be a really good speaker. He has a fighting spirit, and that's what we need, and he believes in America first. I agree. Every time I've ever seen Jim Jordan, I see his cauliflower ear, and you guys explain to me he's used to wrestle, or maybe he still does wrestle, but he's a badass when it comes to wrestling and stuff, and you got to be a disciplined kind of person to go through that stuff. I know a lot of people have done wrestling. I've been to some wrestling matches and stuff, and that stuff's no joke. Getting your ears and your face ripped on and stuff like that. Jim Jordan seems like a pretty good person, in my opinion. Tam, Trump would be able to impeach old man Walter day one like Nancy did. The chair holds all the power and is third in line for president. Yeah, I could see that. Zero, I will. I'll put that on a tab to check out after the live. Christy Starr, you like Jim Jordan too? I could see him being a good Speaker of the House, especially if we got Trump back in the main office. Rappy, you think so too? Well, they need to make that happen. Kevin made it over to D Live. Appreciate you. Flipping through the chats really quick. Mr. Beansy Beans, Lauren Boebert was the speaker because she can speak in my place anytime. I haven't seen anything about Boebert since she got in trouble at that theater, getting groped on and stuff, watching Beetlejuice. I haven't heard anything about her since then. She's probably trying to hide from some spotlight, let people kind of forget what just happened there. That video was circulating, getting her tits squeezed on, and she's feeling on that dude while they're watching Beetlejuice. She's like, nah, I don't need any more screen time for a while. Mayor's Trump speaker would be third in line to be president. Yeah. Ran through the chat really quick. Hair juicer, I have a 96 F-150, best 1400 I've ever spent. You gotta get the inline 6 manual transmission and never use the rear fuel tank. I don't know how to drive a manual. The only way I can do it without stalling is if I speed shift, and that's not good. That's not good. I just haven't had enough experience. If I had more experience, I'd probably be able to work it out. But I'm like I'm speed shifting, and it's not good for the vehicle, and it throws you. It's not a smooth ride riding with me driving a manual. But I hear that manuals last longer than automatics because you have control over how it shifts. Pumpkin, Boebert, keeping a low profile? Yeah. Yeah, and she didn't, I don't know, she didn't sound very good when they interviewed her. She was like, well, when I was younger, the last time I was dating 20 years ago, there wasn't cameras looking at you in the dark. Like, that's not a sorry for your actions. That's a sorry you got caught. You like running it fast and loose. You like being a loose woman, which is your choice, you know, but you're just mad you got caught. You're not really sorry for your behavior. And that's what she said, and then I didn't hear from her anymore. So, Speedy Girl, how much money are you short from getting another decent car? Somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000. That's pretty much where I'm at. I've been looking. I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning last night looking for cars. Like, I really have to fix this problem as soon as possible. The perfect situation would have everything fixed by Monday, when people need me and they need me to have a car. Of course, today being Freedom Friday, I don't see how that's going to happen. I can't, put a car. Even if I got a car today would be my last day to put the car in my name, transfer titles, plates, insurance, all that kind of stuff. And I can't see that happening by the end of the day. But I am trying so hard to find a car. And my issue is that I live in Michigan and cars only last a few years here because the winter kills them. And my price point. And you guys have been so generous, and I really appreciate all of you guys. So I don't want you to think that I'm not thankful for all of you, or I'm disregarding all of your guys' help. I don't want you to think that at all. I really appreciate all of you. You guys have been very generous in helping me and all of this stuff. I'm just being honest with what's going on. I am looking, I am making offers, I am networking, I am doing everything I can. When I am not live, I'm just trying to figure out how to fix this car situation. It is a very big deal for my life, and I wish I could put more light on what exactly this all means, but it's so hard without exposing the identity of the people that are connected to me, where we all help each other out and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm like transporting kids to school and stuff like that. I can't say more about it because it puts those people in danger. I can defend myself. I'll put my face on the screen, but the people connected to me, the people that I have relationships with and stuff like that, I can't expose them. I don't know that they'll be safe if I was to expose their identity and stuff like that, and so I just can't do it. But it is very important in my life that I have a running vehicle. There's kids and there's people that rely on me, and so I gotta get this worked out as fast as possible. Kevin, I can loan you my bike if you want. I do want to get a bike. It's not gonna solve my problems. I appreciate you, Kevin. I do want to get a bike just for something to do when I need to recharge my batteries, but yeah, I gotta fix this car situation. Rappy, yeah, bad call on Lauren Boebert. I agree. She was sorry she got caught. Yeah, I think it's just inappropriate for her to be an elected official and being out there getting groped on, disturbing other people enjoying the theater, disregarding them like she's not a public servant, vaping inside the building, which is going against their policies and stuff, and then flipping off employees on her way out after being thrown out of the theater. I don't think that's a way for an elected official to behave. And because I don't pick teams, I don't favor one side over the other, I just look at a person and judge them based on their choices they're making. I don't think that she's behaving appropriately as an elected official. And I know that if she was blue team, we'd be calling her out until we were blue in the face. And so I'm not holding back when it comes to Lauren Boebert. I don't think she was behaving appropriately. And she's lucky that all she got was thrown out of the theater, because she could have been charged with a crime. She could be a registered sex offender now because of the choices she was making in the theater. Now, that sounds harsh, but that's how we would be treated. If you get caught peeing in public, sometimes you got to pee and sometimes you don't have a bathroom. You'd be a lifetime registered sex offender over that. So her being groped on, behaving that way, she could be held accountable for it. And like I said, if she was blue team, we'd be throwing her under the bus every chance we got. Just because she's red team doesn't mean that she deserves a whole lot of grace. She intentionally was making those choices. She was sorry that she got caught. She's not sorry she behaves that way. And I don't think that's the way that an elected official should be behaving, in my opinion. Speedy Girl, she was with a guy that owns a Rainbow Bar, and he's a big lefty. I heard that. And she also said she parted ways with that individual after she was caught on TV with him. So, I don't know. She's not making good choices, and it will catch up to her. Pumpkin, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Kevin, I have no lemons. I'm going to get the scurvy. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Actually, you know what? Since we got some hooligans in the chat over on D Live, I'm going to crack this treasure chest. It's been filled up since 2021. It's been sitting here waiting to be cracked open since 2021. So I'll distribute rewards and we'll see what happens. It says it takes 30 seconds. Distributing rewards, 25 seconds left. They're distributing 29 lemons. I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure this is going to give back to everyone in the chat. We'll see what happens. 14 seconds. I'll read through the chat while we're waiting on that. DeRosa, I appreciate you. We'll see what happens with these lemons. 3 seconds. Luckiest followers. Memes got 18 lemons and Kevin got 10 lemons. There you go. You guys are good to go. You're good to go. Heck yeah. I appreciate you, hooligans. Thanks for watching on D Live. Mayor's. Oh, I already read that comment. Alright, we're going to move on to the next video here. It's titled, Hillary Clinton rips Jim Jordan after Trump endorses him for Speaker of the House. This is a very short video, just enough to piss you off. Oh, windbag Hillary. What does Trump call her? Beautiful Hillary. It's beautiful Hillary here. I don't know. I don't agree with that title, but let's get it started.
I mean, he is one of the principal ringleaders of the circus that's been created in the Republican Party for the last several years. I have no inside knowledge about what the Republicans will do, who they will end up voting for. But when do they put the country first? They do not represent a majority of even the Republican Party. When you look at the extremists in the House, they certainly don't represent a majority of the country. And, you know, somebody has to stand up and say enough.
Prostitute.
What an evil douchebag. Goodness. Cannot stand that person. I don't know if she's a woman or a gargoyle or whatever the hell she is, but my goodness, I can't stand her. What the nuggets on that woman? Talking about how they don't put the country first. Holy. For somebody that eats babies, she is bold. She is bold talking like that. Matt, she needs to go away for good. I'm saying she is a terrible person, and speaking like that, it just makes my stomach sick. Just, I don't know. Just no good. Just no good talking that crap. She's so mad. Now I hope Jim Jordan becomes Speaker of the House even more. I hope she cries. I hope she cries and craps her pants holding hands with old man Walter when it happens. Jesus loves us. Nothing like a terrible person telling you what the greater good is. She might as well have had a swastika on her face. Just get it tattooed like she's in prison. Jazz's mom Hillary needs to shut the hell up. I agree. Let's ran through the chat really quick. We got one more video left. Captain Seamus, the stank. I don't know if you're talking about beautiful Hillary. I don't know. She's an awful person. Pumpkin Hillary is Satan's girlfriend. I believe it. I believe it. And she probably runs the show. She's probably the one that wears the pants in the relationship. Sam, prostitute. I say that when I'm at Walmart sometimes. I can't help it. I don't have the keyboard with me, so I just hit the sound clip buttons in my head. Just walking around, somebody's acting like an idiot. I'm like, prostitute. Come on, man. I just do it all. I don't know. I'm always live. Even when I'm not. Peyton, many actors will get awards for their work through this apocalypse. They will if we don't stop them. Kevin, the lemons froze my D Live. It was sour, I guess. It took a moment. Thank you, Kevin, for donating 2 lemons over on D Live. I appreciate you. Thank you. The Rosa Diablo pantsuits. Yep. Oh, Hillary. I wouldn't be surprised if her outfit was made out of the flesh of her victims. Those people are really like that. The most expensive leather in existence is human skin. And those people in Hollywood, they love it. They love it. They get their shoes made out of it and everything. They are terrible people. Terrible. Hillary Clinton, she's just a butcher. She don't even wear the products. She just makes them. Because she's an awful person. Mr. Beansy Beans, yeah. I can't say that out loud because YouTube's still watching, but yeah. Yep. She's not only wearing the pants in the relationship. Let's see. Adrian, more proof that only the good die young. Yeah, there's something about evil people just stick around. They stick around. You know why? And I was thinking about it last night. Not Hillary Clinton. God forbid I ever think about her at nighttime. But I was thinking about it last night. And you know why the evil people stand around? They stay around. Kind of like cancer. They don't ever leave unless you make them. It's because good people want to see you do good. And you know what that takes? A second chance. Bad people don't give you a second chance. They give you a bullet in the face. But good people, they want to see you do good, and they'll give you that second chance even when you're far beyond deserving it. And that's what gets them. That's what gets them. Because people who are bad people are looking for ways to pull one over on you. They're looking for an angle to work you over. And it's always for personal gain, whether they're lying to you or stealing from you, gathering information for your demise, smiling before they stab you in the back. These choices they make, it's always strategic to work one over on you. And good people will always give you that second chance until it kills them. And they will live long enough to be the big villain. And when people see that big villain, they tear him down. There's nothing worse than a famous evildoer. As soon as they get to that point, they've made so many bad choices and worked over so many people, they become a famous bad person like Soros. Well, now you're a target for other bad people. The good people can't reach you. You've stomped too many of them down. We don't have enough power to take you down because we don't build enterprises off hate. So then you become a target for other bad people. And eventually a bigger fish comes along and you're not here anymore. But that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Because there's nothing better you could do than die as a good person and serve God. In my opinion, that's the best you can do. So instead of sticking around long enough to become the bad guy just to be here longer, you're better just doing the right thing and going when it's your time to go. Don't worry about those bad people. They can do whatever they're going to do. They'll have to answer for it one day. It will catch up to them. It will. I just fully believe it will. Whether it's here on this side of the veil or on the other side, what's coming to them will. And it'll be terrible. It will catch up to them. I firmly believe it. RK, Hillary probably has human lampshades. Oh, a human lampshade tool. I wouldn't doubt it at all. When it's hot in her house, everything sweats and no one knows why. Smells like a locker room, nobody knows why. And they're bold too. Those kind of people, they're so bold. They'd be like, hey, look at my new lamp. It's neat, right? And you're like, yeah, it looks nice. And they're like, it's rare. You want to touch it? And you're like, I guess. I've never been asked to touch your lampshade before. And you're like, weird. What is that? And they're like, oh, it's leather. It's nice, isn't it? You're like, yeah. They're like, all right, well, let's go. Let's leave. You don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know what you're a part of. You're just sitting there staring at the devil. You don't even realize it as it pretends to be your friend. Here, Juicer, didn't PETA have a shop for human leather? I wouldn't be surprised. Those people are crazy. Adrian, there will be a balance. Oh, yes, there will be. I believe so, too. All right, we're going to watch this last video here. This is titled, Vivek Ramaswamy Speaks Out After Protesters Crash Into His SUV. This is like an interview with Vivek after the event happened, but I posted a link in the news board on Gilded that will show you the actual interaction between Vivek and the protesters, and it is as obnoxious as you would believe. It is entertaining to watch. I posted it in the news board on Gilded. I am going to also post it on the news board on the website. The website is up right now as far as I know, and like I said, that will fix itself. But I'll post it there also so you can watch the actual interaction. The things they're talking, they're talking about the blue and yellow country because of YouTube's communist guidelines. I can't talk about that stuff, so I'm not showing the actual interaction between the protesters and Vivek. This is just the interview after it happened. Once again, join up with Gilded. Gilded is free. You can find it in the link tree. Lots of resources, lots of benefits, but you'll be able to watch that video that I posted. Same thing as if you're on jeffmaclive.com. You'll have access to that video, which is kind of like a part 2 to this. Let's get it started.
Fox News alert. Just moments ago, Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy was the victim of a hit and run by crazy left-wing protesters. Vivek was campaigning in Iowa, and he was confronted by a vulgar mob. A Honda Civic slammed into Vivek's car. Police were called, and the couple in the car fled. Vivek stayed on the scene and mixed it up.
My mom's a public school worker, and she deserves to be paid and respected. I think every person deserves to be respected, but we are failing to do right by our kids in this country. Our achievement gap versus other countries is bad, and we're all in that together. But here's what I will say. The beauty of this country is that you all have the right to express your opinions, and you're doing it peacefully. And even though I disagree with you, I'm proud of you for expressing your views, even if I disagree with you. We're going to have to find a better way to do it. And one of the ways we're going to do it is through open debate. You guys are doing your part. I'm going to do mine.
Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy joins me now. So, Vivek, do you think they were trying to hurt you when they rammed their car into yours?
We are in good hands here in Iowa.
So I can't speculate, Jesse. I will say that the person was flicking me off and screaming as they rammed into the back of a car where nobody was in that car, thankfully, and everyone's okay. But the thing I want to say is also, Jesse, is that these were mostly actually good, peaceful protesters, people who disagree with me. But I think that peaceful protest and more dialogue is a good thing. These were a couple of fringe bad actors that resorted to, I would say, more inappropriate methods. But I don't want to let that taint our tradition of actual peaceful protest in this country. So my general policy is if protesters show up at our events, we'll have a good dialogue and let them speak.
Are you saying it was a mostly peaceful protest?
It's basically what it was. In a literal sense, it was mostly peaceful. I do think the people who hit the cars should be held accountable. But more importantly, as I said in that little exchange, I respect free speech, especially for those who disagree with me. We have to be better than the other side. We will hold ourselves to that higher standard. That's how we're going to revive this country.
What are these people like, these protesters? How nasty is it? I know most of these people are great people. I get that. But tell me a little bit about the crew that was a little gnarly.
There was a lot of name-calling, some profane language that I'm not going to use on this program. Mostly young people, but what I see in their eyes, Jesse, is that they're lost. They're hungry for a cause, some cause. One is complaining about my policy on shutting down teachers' unions, another on climate change, another calling me transphobic, another opposing my position on Ukraine. So it was a diverse smattering of concerns, a lot of name-calling. But what I saw is really a bunch of people who were really lost and hungry for direction. And at the point when I told them, look, I congratulate you for expressing your free speech rights, when they cut me off in responding, I said, tell me know when you're done. And then I responded to them. What I saw was a softening. And I have hope that young people in this country, many of whom think they hate this country, they don't really hate this country. I think they're just lost in search of purpose and meaning. And it is our job as leaders not just to vilify those young people. The people who hit the car should be held accountable. But more importantly, to give them direction for where we're leading this country. And so I'm trying to lead by example. We can't just preach about free speech. We'll respect their rights to protest. But I hope that also results in more people in this country hearing my message and the pro-American message we're spreading.
You're so right about
that's what I'm doing in this campaign.
Starving for a cause. You know, like their parents had maybe in the Vietnam era or the civil rights era. They don't have anything like that. So they just have ridiculous things that they protest. But when you do talk to them, you're right. And you humanize yourself and they kind of relax. You can move forward. And hopefully that happens. Hopefully you just file an insurance claim, Vivek, and we can straighten that all out.
We saw a little bit of that tonight, Jesse, but you're right. You hit the nail on the head. It's when they run out of causes to actually protest for that they make up new ones instead. But that's okay. We'll get this right.
We'll get it right and tell everybody in Iowa I love them and good luck out there. Just make sure, make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
All right.
We're doing well.
Good luck.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here.
Well, that's Vivek Ramaswamy. I think he's just a smooth talker. I think that's all he is. If you go watch that video that I posted in Gilded, and again, I'll post it on the website, and you watch how he interacts with those protesters, he's just a smooth talker. That's all he is. I don't think there's anything going on behind those eyes. I think he's on a mission of some sort, and we have yet to see exactly what that is. He says all the right things, and that's great, but so does the used car salesman. And that's what he comes off as to me. A lot of people ask me what I think about Vivek, and I don't know. Because right now, Trump's going to win. That's all I know. I don't know any more than that. Vivek says all the right things, but he doesn't have anything backing it up. I've never heard of him before the presidential campaign started and stuff. He just came out of nowhere. and just starts saying all the right things. And he does say all the right things. I've watched a few interviews with him and stuff, and he talks about kids turn the wiener inside out and all that kind of stuff, and he's against it, and he believes in American freedoms and blah, 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 blah. And it sounds great. But I don't know who that guy is, and I ain't never seen him do anything. He just does a lot of talking. And the protesters show up, and he's thanking them for protesting. And yeah, that's great. That is their constitutional right, and it is good that they are standing up for what they believe in. I've said that since the very first live, that I may not agree with everybody who is protesting and stuff, but at least they are standing up for what they believe in. And I believe in that way more than people who just talk about it. Walk the walk, don't just talk it. And so I do understand that, but he's just trying to please everyone. He's just trying to smooth talk everyone, and it's kind of like a snake tongue the way he goes about doing it. So I don't believe in Vivek a whole lot. Like I said, he does say all the right things, so obviously he knows what the American people want, but I guess we won't know until we see how it goes. You know, he's got to stick around. We got to see him actually do something instead of just saying stuff. It's hard to do that when you don't have any power or authority, but you know, where's all his good works at? So we'll see how that goes. Go watch that video on Gilded or on jeffmaclive.com that I posted showing him having the actual interaction with the protesters. The two in the vehicle hit him and then ran. I don't think he was actually in the car. They rear-ended the car and then dipped out. But then a group, maybe 10 protesters showed up, and they're acting like assholes. They were like, you know, answer the question, answer the question, He's trying to answer the question, but they're interrupting him to demand that he answers the question over and over again. And so it's the usual protest setting, but he's sitting there trying to accommodate them and trying to give them the most politically correct answer and be thorough and be gentle and care about their feelings and include everyone that's watching. And that's great, but you're just a mouthpiece. And until I actually see some works, just smooth talker. And that's great, but that's not going to get the job done. We need more than smooth talking. And we know that for sure. Hair Juicer, where was this? It was somewhere in Iowa. He was at some event in Iowa. Matt, I think he's playing both sides. Could be. Could be. Let's see. Hit and run. And the moron most likely won't get in any trouble. I agree with that too. He's in Iowa, so I mean, I don't know how things are in Iowa, but the way the country's being run or ran, chances are, hit and run, they're not going to find him. They're not going to hold him accountable. Hopefully he's got insurance. He could probably afford it. Let's see. Matthew, just like the Sith in Star Wars. Yep. Because he's such a smooth talker, I feel like someone could offer him a deal to control him. He could be given money to continue to say the right things and meet the right people and get into the right clubs. And I think if he got accepted into the Bohemian Grove and stuff like that, I think he would go. I think he is just talking his way up the ladder. I think that's what he's doing. And I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. If you like Vivek, I'm not against you. You like whoever you want. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. But in my opinion, I think he's just a smooth talker. TJ, Trump is having a rally or speech tomorrow. Have you heard about it? I'm not sure what you're saying at the last part. We are going to cover it. He's supposed to be live twice tomorrow. Snooks informed me of this. Let me look it up really quick. He's supposed to be live twice tomorrow. He's supposed to be speaking at 3 in Waterloo, Iowa, and then again at 5 at the Hilton in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I don't know that we're going to cover both because a lot of times it's just the same speech being said over again. But we will cover one of them. We'll see how it goes. Because we got to wait for Right Side Broadcasting to go live, and then we got to see when he's actually supposed to be on stage, and then we got to see when he actually gets on stage. I'll keep you guys informed. Make sure you are a part of Gilded. I'll drop the Gilded link to you guys, so you can just click it and join right up with Gilded. Let's see. Snook, same speech, different places. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Gilded. Wham. Alright, Hooligans, I'm posting the Gilded link. Please join Gilded. It is worthwhile. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. No matter where we go live, you will be notified directly by me. The Hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we have a news board to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So whether you're social or you're just a lurker, that's fine. We have something for everyone over on Gilded. So please join up. It is free. You can access it from your computer. A lot of Hooligans enjoy using Gilded from their PC. You can also download the app and access it from your phone. That's the best way to receive notifications, in my opinion. That's how I use Gilded, is through my phone. It's the place to be. Go ahead and join Gilded. If you would really like to support, you could subscribe to Gilded. We do have a membership program on Gilded if you would like to support that way. But jeffmaclive.com has a lot more to offer than Gilded, and we're trying to get more Hooligans over there because that's a tower that can't be kicked over. Gilded could go down for censorship. YouTube can go down for censorship. Twitch could go down for censorship. Even Rumble, maybe one day, will roll over on us and crack down on that censorship. But over on jeffmaclive.com, we are free. We are free over there. There's no one to come and harass us. I own the database. I own the website. It belongs to me. There's no one overseeing us. And everything is restricted and has a ton of security to keep us safe over there. So, if you would really like to support, you can go over to jeffmaclive.com. You can even try it for free. Go to the top of the link tree because it is going to expire. I think it's going to expire right before my birthday in March. That coupon at the very top of the link tree. So go check out jeffmaclive.com while you still can for free. Let's see. I'm going to read through chat really quick. That is all the coffee I had for you, Hooligans. I'm going to give you the Linktree link now. If you would like to send some support, especially because I got this car situation going on and I need to resolve that as quickly as possible, you can do so by using the donation links in the Linktree. You can also access all the merch stores. You can join membership programs. You can try every single platform that we go live on. Especially, just reminding myself, tomorrow is Free Speech Saturday, which means we do not go live on YouTube on Saturdays. We are live everywhere else, so we will be live on Kick, Twitch, DLive, Rumble, jeffmaclive.com, and if I can fix the problems with Odyssey, Odyssey will be included in the chain, but tomorrow's Free Speech Saturday. So I suggest that you click that link tree, try all the different platforms that are listed at the top, and see which free speech platform that you enjoy the most outside of YouTube. I know a lot of you on YouTube like YouTube because of the user interface is user friendly, but communism is kicking my ass and I can't deal with that. So free speech, Saturday is for free speech. Find a platform that's not YouTube that you enjoy and you can handle being on, and we will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Just reading through the chat really quick and we're going to be moving forward. Cat's Eye, everything will work out. Thanks, Cat's Eye. I appreciate you. I know it will. I know it will. Let's see. Dropping this link tree to everyone. FO, yeah, we're going to do the pledge here in just a moment. I'm just checking up on everyone, making sure everybody is good to go. And we are going to do the pledge here in just a second and wrap everything up. I don't think we're going to play the game again. I know I said we were yesterday and then I canceled at last minute. I really have to get this car thing done. This is like top of the priority list for me. I have to get this car thing solved. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll pull up a picture really quick. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about at this point, but just in case, if you think I'm just talking out of my ass or something, let me get this pulled up. I don't know what all this stuff at the bottom is. There we go. This is my poor car. If you don't know, smoked a deer 2 days ago going 75 down the road. Luckily, I am okay. Car is not. They're saying that could be more than $10,000 to fix, and I can't fix it. I can't fix it. There's people that aren't even willing to fix it, and they're telling me to just find a new car. They're saying that I could pay all that money, fix that car, and then have more problems down the road because there's things that need to be fixed that just aren't obvious up front. They're telling me it is not worth fixing this 2009 Subaru Outback and that I would be better off finding another vehicle. You guys have been great, just so supportive, so generous, helping me out with the situation. I am trying to do the best I can with what I have and find a replacement vehicle. I don't think fixing it is an option at this point. So I'm trying to find another vehicle. I am limited on options. I have made offers. A lot of people are turning me down. The two options where people are negotiating with me right now are older cars. They're Subarus. They're over 200,000 miles. They still want $5,000 for these cars, $4,500-ish. It's a pretty steep price for the vehicle's life ahead of them. So I'm trying to reach another price point so I have more options so I can get this problem fixed. If you would like to contribute, you can use the donation links that are in the link tree. You could join membership programs that will also contribute, plus you'll get something back in return. But that's what we're all discussing here. Poor Subaru. I love that damn car. It's the very best Subaru you can get is that 2009 Outback. It has less problems than any Subaru on the road. Unfortunately, there's only one 2009 Subaru left in the state that is for sale, and the guy won't write me back. So I'm trying to find something else. I'm not stuck to a Subaru. I am exploring my options. I'm trying to be as open-minded as possible. I'm looking at Impalas and all this other stuff. These cars are crap that are available to me, and if I'm looking at shitty options, I feel like the best I could do is get another Subaru where I may have parts for it already, or at least I know what I'm getting myself into, because I've owned my last Subaru, which was my second Subaru I've owned for a few years now. So that's the situation. I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys and keep you up to date with what's going on with me. Either way, I'm going to read through the chat a little bit more, see what's going on. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll be wrapping everything up. Hey, I appreciate you, Adrian. Hair Juicer, Iowa is great, and I'm glad the rest of the country doesn't know that. Well, thanks for informing me, Hair Juicer. Yeah, Iowa does not come up when we're talking about protesters, rioting, crap going on in schools, so I'm glad that Iowa's a good place to live. DCAT, yeah. I mean, if I had property, we would bring the Subaru home and we would figure it out and take a little bit more time to get things processed. But as long as I don't have a place, I can't bring it here. It can actually cause me to be evicted, so I can't even bring it here. It's sitting at the shop. You know, big shout out to Paul's Auto for giving me the grace they've been giving me. They're housing the vehicle at this point. He's trying to give me advice on these offers that I'm making. I've been discussing my possible options here about these vehicles. I know them down at Paul's Auto. They're not just working me over. I am trying everything I can to get the best deal out of the situation. Damn deer. Run out in front of me. Clip me. Just, It's kicking my ass. I try not to think about it because I just still see the images flashing in my head, and I know it's not a big bad situation, but for some reason it's really bothering me. That accident is just really bothering me. It's messing with me mentally for some freaking reason. I've endured so much worse than clipping a deer. I don't know. I think it's the feeling that I'm letting others down that are relying on me. I think that's what's really bothering me. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm just going to ban this guy. I was going to respond to him and let him know how I really feel, because obviously he's not an American, and he thinks my shirt is ironic because Americans believe in law, and if you can't read my shirt, it says, I am an American and I do not comply. That doesn't mean I don't comply with the law. That means I don't comply with a tyrannical government. And for this individual here trying to troll me, who says, oh, I'm so ready. You're not. It's thick and it's heavy, and if I put it in you, you may not survive it, so just shut the hell up, stupid trolls. Anyways, first person to get banned on Kick. I really wanted to duke it out, but we'll let it go. Let's see. DeRosa the Bambi Lance. The poor deer. I was like, why did you do this to us? The deer's just dead on the side of the road. Tongue hanging out of its head. I don't know. Grey Wolf, all a ripoff. Yeah. Soul for Real, have a great weekend, everyone. Appreciate you, Soul for Real. Hey, I appreciate you, Dish Lady. Yeah, I'm fine. You know, for going 75 and smacking a deer that had to have weighed 300 pounds plus, the car handled great. I couldn't see anything. As soon as the deer connected, the hood went up over the windshield, and I could not see. I'm going 75 down the road in the middle of the night. And thankfully, I was the only person on the road. Hit the deer, slammed on the brakes, tried not to lock him up. I did lock him up. I could hear the tires squealing. I could feel the car doing this. But that car is a champ. It took it. I didn't spin out of control. I didn't lose control in any kind of way. I slowed down, came to a stop, pulled over to the side of the road, looking out of my passenger window and my driver window to try and figure out where the side of the road was and try not to go down into the ditch. Pulled over. Whole front end is just disintegrated. Just no good. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. And thankfully I didn't have any kids in the car or anything like that. So tis what it tis. All right, hooligans, it looks like everybody is good to go. Let's do the pledge and we're going to wrap this up. All right, hooligans, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. I don't think I muted myself for the pledge. I don't know why I get in the habit of doing that. I just do. I'm going to read through the chat one more time really quick. Like I said, I don't think we're going to be live for the game later. I have to put all my time into fixing this issue. I get my mind set on something. I got to do it. I got to just do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. So I'll probably be up till 4 o'clock in the morning again trying to get this stuff solved. But I appreciate all of you hooligans. You guys have been fantastic. I will see all of you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Once again, Saturday is for free speech. So if you're a YouTube viewer, I have a hard time calling you a hooligan if you're on YouTube, but I should do that. I do appreciate all of you hooligans that watch. But if you are a YouTube hooligan, you're going to have to leave the platform to watch the live tomorrow. Find that link tree. Check out all the other platforms we have. You probably will have to make an account if you want to participate in the chat, but I don't think you have to in order to watch. You can watch on most of these platforms without having to make an account. You just won't be able to be in the chat without making one. But check the link tree out. Try all the different live streaming platforms. Just know that we will not be live on YouTube tomorrow. We will be doing Coffee with Hooligans at 1, and we'll be figuring out the whole Trump situation sometime between like 3 and 6. We'll be covering Trump. I will let you guys know as soon as I know more. Flip it through the chat really quick. Cat is destroying stuff in my bathroom I can hear. We'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. You hear me flipping my chapstick? It's got a rattle. I just dropped it. It's got a rattle now. Yeah, so you can't hear this one. Yeah, I flipped it so much, my chapstick has a rattle. I'm flipping my chapstick right in front of you, hooligans. That is so funny. Status Quo, I appreciate you. Happy freedom. Yeah, Status Quo. The shock was kicking my ass. And I actually felt so much better after I got to talk to you hooligans and express what happened. Kev Chat, no, I wasn't going out there looking for the goods in the middle of the night. I wasn't going to, it wasn't a hookup drive. I was going to get Taco Bell. I got 3, what'd I get? I got 3 Chipotle Ranch chicken burritos, and then I was trying their new veggie burrito, and then I smacked that deer, like, on the way home. I was probably in the car like 20 minutes or something, smacked that deer, and by the time I got home, 3 or 4 hours had passed. Like, I left at like 10 o'clock at night. I didn't get back home till like 1:30. And by the time I got back home, I couldn't even eat. My stomach was in knots. I was upset, and I couldn't eat. Klaus Daniels was bothering me. You want to say hi? Well, come here. Come here, young dookie booty. Oh, say hi to the hooligans. Oh. I weighed this beast of a cat, and he's actually losing weight. He's only 15 pounds. 15-pounder chicken nugget here. You gonna say hi? You gonna say hi? Say hi. Silent. silent. Ugh. It's a big dragon calf. You ain't never seen one of these. It's one of a kind. That's the Hooligan model, the Hooligan version. I didn't have to pay extra for it. He came that way. That's how God made him. What are you looking at? All right, I gotta put you down. Put you down, big chicken nugget. Holy, big booty on a kitty. Anyways, I appreciate all of you hooligans. Like I said, no gaming tonight. I'll see you at 1 p.m. tomorrow for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Then we got Trump, we got Orange Eagle tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. Be a part of Gilded, be a part of jeffmaclive.com. That way you can stay up to date with everything going on with me, my car, this big fat cat that I got, and everything else going on in the world. I appreciate you guys. Big shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I would not be able to do this without you. So thank you so much for all this support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright. That's a wrap.